It's mailbag time here on the Raiders Report. Mitchell Wren's ready to answer all y'all's questions. And remember, these questions are from Tuesday's live show at Tuesday, so please keep that in mind in case anything changes. If you want to get in the best shape of your life, if you're wondering, Mitch, how do you always come into work the next day after a crazy show? It's the hangover cure. How do you cure all your hangovers? By going to panasups.com. Use code Raiders, 35% off. Get the BCAAs. If you get the BCAAs, you take a scoop before you go to bed, you take a scoop when you wake up the next morning, your hangover will be cured. And if you spend over $99, we're also going to get you a free shaker. Just got to use code Raiders. All right, let's go to some Super Chats. BB2, Turner, Van Noy, and maybe Gilmore after June. I would say I'd be shocked if Gilmore makes it that long. But remember, the Raiders will have some money to play around with. You're looking at about $20 million after June 1st. Let's go to Menace. We got, what do you think is going to happen to wide receiver DeSean Jackson? I think he's already a free agent. I don't see him coming back to the silver and black. If I was DeSean, I would try to go to another team where I have more opportunity because, let's face it, he's just not going to have as much opportunity with the Raiders. Let's go to Mex. What college should we look at for future NFL picks? I would say whatever college that the Raiders go to during their pro days. Because not having a first or second round pick, it makes it very difficult to figure out what exactly the Raiders are going to do because there's so much concentration on the draft. So look at the coaches that the Raiders have and look at where they end up going for their NFL pro day. So that's a good way to do it. Let's go to Rox Felix. What up, Ross? Appreciate you, brother. Didn't you say next year's first equals current year's second round? Though, trade equals 2 first rounders, still worth it though. Well, it's this year's second. So, and even that. So, it's this year's first, this year's second round pick for Davante Adams. But yes, I have said in past shows, if the Raiders were to give up a 2023 first round pick, the way NFL teams value that is like a second round pick this upcoming season. So, I don't want you guys to miss out on anything we do here at the Raiders Report. Hit that subscribe button. Tune in every single time we go live on Tuesdays. If you want to make sure that you get free videos every day, hit that sub button. And remember, we are also live on Rumble, so shout out to our live Rumble audience. If you want more Rumble content, it is rumble.com/Raiders Report. But hey, here's what I'm doing. Keeping you guys up to date. 365. It's in the name for a reason. Let's go to Playa Boy Yo-Yo. Who do you want the Raiders to draft in round 3, pick 86? So I figured people were going to ask me this question, so here's some names that I went ahead and I wrote down. Travis Jones, the defensive tackle from UConn. Abraham Lucas, right tackle from Washington State. Tyler Smith from Tulsa, another offensive tackle. Daniel Filet, Minnesota offensive tackle. Damian Beavers, solid edge/linebacker. Darian Beavers, Cincinnati. Channing Tittle, Quay Walker, both linebackers from Georgia, and then Perion Winfrey, the defensive tackle from Oklahoma. Those are guys I would consider at pick 86. So how about this? We've done so many videos already on who should the Raiders draft at pick number 22 in round 1. Crumble them up, throw them out the window because we traded for Davante Adams. So who do y'all want the Raiders to go ahead and try to get round 3, pick 86? What up, John Lord, one of the MVPs of today's live show. Support Mitch. He's the truth. Hydrate, Mitch. Go Raiders. Hashtag Nathan. Wow, why do I keep saying that? Hashtag Nation. I appreciate you, John. I appreciate everyone who watches the show. John's ready to party. And I know Davante Adams watched our last party when he ended up traded. So, John, I've been trying to stay hydrated all week. But last week kicked my ass. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Let's go to Alec Kranz Gaming. Raiders just signed DeMarcus Robinson. You're right. Remember, this is also filmed Tuesday, so you're going to get super chats. You're going to get comments that come across the screen like this. It's a 1-year deal. Contract details still TBA. Once we get them, we'll go ahead and let you know on a future show. But you're right. The Raiders have signed DeMarcus Robinson. Let's go to Jack. Getting ballsy. Carr. Wow. 5,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, 11 picks, 4 fumbles. I kind of like the projection, so how about this, y'all? Give me your Derek Carr projections. And this is going off the fact that DC last year threw for 4,800, which is career high for him, also Raiders single-season record. But he hasn't had 30 touchdowns since 2016. So I like the ballsiness. I like people getting creative. But 36 touchdowns, hey, if you go on and you get Davante Adams, I think anything's possible, right? Let's go to Willie Oak. Who is a player the Raiders could trade to get a first-round pick back? I know I've seen the reports out there from Peter King that have said that, hey, the Raiders are trying to get back into the second and first round, or at least they're not happy that they don't have a first or second round pick, considering the fact that the Raiders draft this season is in Las Vegas. You're not trading Derek Carr, so throw that one out the window. The only player that you can trade to get a first round pick for is Darren Waller. And I don't want the Raiders to move on from Darren Waller, so call me crazy. If you're looking to get into better shape, if you want to make sure that you're not hungover in the mornings, if you're just trying to be a healthier individual and you want to support a Raiders fan, go to pandasups.com. 35% off high-quality supplements. All you got to do is use code Raiders. So I know getting greens in your daily diet is not an easy thing to be able to do. However, Panda Sups does make it a little bit easier, and they released a brand new flavor. All I like to do is get a glass of water, throw in a scoop of my greens. There's also some caffeine in there, so if you don't like coffee, it'll wake you up a little bit. If you do want some caffeine in your life and you're looking to crush a workout, you take a scoop of this pandemic pre-workout and you're going to be ready to go. In fact, if you don't handle caffeine well, I would say take a half a scoop, maybe even a quarter scoop. To make sure that you recover after your workout, I take a scoop of BCAAs after every single time I work out from Panda Sups. And if you want to know my regimen to make sure I'm never hungover, scoop after you drink, and then a scoop when you wake up in the morning of the BCAAs. You'll be able to stay hydrated. And if you spend over $99, remember, got to go to pandasups.com. Got to use code Raiders. If you use code Raiders, if you spend over $100, you get a free shaker. Shout out to Merbod. Shout out to Panda Sups for always hooking up all Raider Nation and hooking us up here with a really awesome deal. That link's going to be available for you in the comments and in the description of today's video. Let's scratch with Sean. Raiders, hell yeah. Raider Nation for life. Is that what scratching with Sean looks like? Hopefully it doesn't look like that. Let's go to Desmond Johnson. Happy birthday to me and my twin bro. Nation all the way from the womb. I mean, they say womb to the tomb. You and your brother, so you're twin and you guys have the same birthday. Wow, that's pretty crazy. They're twins and they have the same birthday. That fits Petey's whole idea of people have the same birthday, right? Happy birthday, Desmond, to you and your twins. Shout out to all y'all. Let's go to Daniel Keenan. Mitch. Screw the Caps. I believe Adams' number slips a bit because all the other weapons. What are your thoughts? Yeah, I don't really know if I anticipate Davante Adams to put up the numbers that he did with Green Bay for the simple fact of Aaron Rodgers, better quarterback than Derek Carr. Also, Rodgers has that repertoire with Adams. Not saying that Davante can't get it with DC, but to expect Carr, who has always been somebody that spreads the ball out a lot, to target Davante that much, I do think it might be a little bit of a far-fetched dream. But if Davante, there's no reason why he can't have 105 catches, why he can't have 1,400 yards and still put up double-digit touchdowns. I think the receptions come down a little bit. I do think the yards come down a little bit. And the touchdowns also are going to come down a hair. But you're still going to be looking at an incredible receiver who's going to open up a lot of things for Darren Waller, open up a lot of things for Bryan Edwards, open up even more things for Hunter Renfrow in that entire running game. BB2, getting ready to party, getting my apple juice. Hell yeah, man. If you're not over 21, get the apple juice ready. Also, love the picture because, yes, Davante Adams, it has been confirmed, will wear the number 17. Let's go to Jalapeno Ranch with pork. You guys should order from a taco place that we know around here. Will Derek Carr win the MVP in 2022? I'll tell you this. I haven't seen the odds on it yet, but I would be curious to throw down at least $10 on it. I made multiple shows last season that Derek Carr was the front runner for MVP. And if the Raiders win this division, and if Derek throws for 30 touchdowns, you better believe that he's going to be one of the front runners, and he absolutely deserves it. And sure, he's going to have a lot of help around him. The offensive line needs to be able to hold up, but I'm not going to sit up here and say Derek's going to win it, but a good bet that I will put down is $10 on Derek Carr winning the MVP with these options, with these weapons in this division, with all these headlines, and with everyone having as much concentration on this division as you're going to get. Derek Carr for MVP is a good bet. I'm telling y'all right now. Now, guys, remember, we're dropping even more videos over on Locals. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead, give us a follow on Locals, become a member for free, or you can become a supporter for $10 a month or $100 a year. What a supporter gets is an extra live show every single week. You also get 2 exclusive videos that I don't show to anyone else besides supporters. You get even more content from me, an easier way to get in better contact with me. So how do you do that? Go to RaidersReport.locals.com, and to shout out some of the people that are our most recent supporters, Sam, you can roll through these rather quickly. Essentially, what I want to do is take people from Locals and give them even more of a shout out here on the Raiders Report, because these people are also helping me pursue my dream of doing Raiders content only. I make a lot of videos at Chat Sports, and in fact, right now my job here at Chat Sports is probably only 40% Raiders. Imagine if I can invest that other 60% into making more Raiders content. I make a lot of content now. I promise you, nobody will outwork me. Nobody will provide y'all with more content. And if we get to that point, I feel bad for a lot of other content creators, because we're going to be blowing people out of the water. And if you want more content from from Chat Sports, around Raider Nation, then join us, RaidersReport.locals.com. Major shout out to everyone who is already a supporter. It really helps me out a lot, and I appreciate you. Let's go to Flow On World. Derek Stingley Jr. will look good in silver and black. You're right. But Derek Stingley Jr. would have to either get injured or do some really radical off-the-field shit to slide all the way down to the Raiders at pick 86. And for his sake, I hope that doesn't happen. Let's go to Dante Blunt. Mitch, I think we need to resurrect Jack Tatum and the whole secondary, because we have had, yes to that, because that's been probably one of the greatest secondaries of all time. Here's the issue. Dr. Death, Jack, those guys wouldn't be able to play today. They would get flagged. They would get kicked out of the league. People would call them dirty players. You can't play the way they used to be able to play. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it keeps people healthier. As much as I would have loved to be able to watch those guys run around the football field, let's face it, that you can't play that style of defense in today's game. Let's go to Psycho Reaper. What about the linebacker position? Linebacker does still need some help. However, I know the Raiders are very high on Divine Diablo. I know they're very high on Denzel Perryman. Very curious to see what they do with Jonathan Abram. There's been some rumblings out there that I know the Raiders plan on using Crosby, and they plan on using Chandler as like your top 2 defensive ends. Malcolm Kuntz is going to be used as a linebacker / edge rusher. But there's some good linebackers out in the draft, especially some solid dudes who you can get in the 3rd round, which is where I think the Raiders end up going. However, the top linebacker that I want the Raiders to pursue is Kyle Van Noy, but also they went ahead and they signed Kyler Fackrell, who's still more of an edge rusher, but can also play a little bit of linebacker if you need him in a pinch. So be honest with me, y'all, my March Madness bracket sucks. It's bad. Now, I will say this. My championship teams are still available. I still do have all 4 of my final 4 teams available as well. And most of my brackets, which I always take a different winner in every one of my brackets because I like to be different. I do have one bracket where I took Texas Tech and Colgate in the championship game because they're both the Raiders. Colgate Raiders, Texas Tech Red Raiders. So that bracket sucks because Colgate lost in round 1. But I do have in one of my brackets Gonzaga, UCLA, Arizona, and then also Kansas. And that one's still doing okay. But how's y'all's brackets doing? Y for yes, N for no. I should also mention the winner of my Locals March Madness bracket gets a signed Rich Gannon helmet. So we're going to be doing more stuff like that as well. So go ahead, hit us up on Locals. Let's go to JMO, aka Devil J. Any news on Fletcher Cox? I think he's going back to Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken. It's not finalized, but the Eagles and Fletcher want to go back to Philadelphia. So personally, I think Fletcher corny dogs are better, but maybe I'm crazy. Let's go to Raider Nation for life. What do you think about trading Trayvon Mullen and a 4th-round pick to the 49ers for a mid-second? I don't know why the 49ers would do that. Trayvon doesn't have that type of value. You're essentially saying, I'm going to trade you a 5th and a 4th to get a 2nd. That's just not going to happen. Mullen, I would say if I was an NFL team, I'm not giving up a 4th-round pick for Trayvon. I don't even know if I'd give up a 5th-round pick for him. I'd say 6th-round pick for Mullen. You can have him because you saved money. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. So, sorry, I like the creativity, but it's not good value for the 49ers. Let's go to Daniel. Can you see David Ojabo slide to the third round since his injury at Pro Day? Really unfortunate injury for the edge rusher from Michigan, somebody who I saw going in the top 20, top 25 picks. Ended up tearing his Achilles. And here's the thing. If you're an NFL team that you believe that you don't need your third-round pick, go ahead and make the move, right? I still think that the Raiders need the pick. I think they need to be able to compete right away, which is why I don't see it happening, though I could see the Raiders being at least a little bit more interested in it. But after an Achilles injury, you just never know what you're going to get. But I think it's a good question because I could see Ojabo sliding to round 3, though I still think he goes in round 2. Adrian Delgado, are we out of running for the other big-time free agents cap space-wise now that we have done the Adams deal and other free agent deals? So Adams is only $8.2 million. So in terms of that, Adams isn't going to be the reason why you're out. I do know the Raiders have made a few moves. They made a few moves yesterday, re-signing a few guys, signing a few players, signed 2 players today on Tuesday. Until the cap numbers come out, I'm going to say I don't have a confident answer. But from people that I've talked to, from people that I trust, still do sound like they are in on a few other big-name free agents to at least potentially go out and sign. Let's go to James here. Do you think the Raiders will trade for Danielle Hunter from the Vikings, and how many draft picks would it cost? I mean, if you're going to go out and trade for Danielle Hunter, I believe he makes $25 million this year. I don't think Danielle Hunter is worth $25 million. He's a hell of a player when he's healthy, but he played in only 7 games last season. Sure, 7 games, had 6 sacks. I'm going to say no, because if I was Minnesota, I would want probably your third-round pick and maybe something else on top of that, and Raiders aren't going to go ahead, and they're not going to do it. So I know we get a lot of questions here on this Raiders Sports Show. Hell, we got 1,800 people watching. That's an incredible number, and I want to give you all a major, major shout-out. If you want to ask me your questions because I couldn't get to them because you didn't send in a super chat, remember, you can DM me your questions on Locals. That's where I answer these questions. Now, just get in touch better with people that I think, deserve my time, because I get hundreds and hundreds of IG DMs. So now I prioritize them on Locals. So if you want to DM me, it's RaidersReport.locals.com.